haven't been doing any live readings for a while because I just wanted to take a break. So, and then my cat Spook got sick, which she's right here. You guys want to see her? A pretty baby girl. So she stopped eating and stopped drinking water. So that's right. So anyways, I've been taking care of her. She's pretty much on her last leg, which I'm really devastated. I think I've cried too many tears, but I've been asking for a lot of prayers, and they've been working because she got up sometime in the night and left the bedroom and went into the bathroom. So I don't know how she did that, but she must have felt the strength and got up and started walking. So she's starting to hold her head up, but she's still really weak, and I'm just heartbroken about the whole situation. So anyways, I thought I'd get back into reading Awakened Evil, which this is the second book in the Keeper of Soul series. So I've already did the first book live readings, so now I am going to do chapter 25, and I'm not really sure how long this chapter is, but this is from, I think, Madison's point of view. Yeah. So anyways, the last chapter was Inga was in her potion room, and they see a vision, and the two boys, Keegan and Terrence, are coming their way, I'm thinking. So so that's what's happening. I took a long break off, and I don't even remember where. I know we left off last time, chapter 24. So, right, Spook? Right, baby? Right? Right. Ooh, Batman agrees. Hi. This is Batman. Hi. We're live. He's like, all right, Mom, put me down now. Okay, sorry. Boop. Lay down, child. Lay down. Okay, so we are going to read off from chapter 25, which I'm going to take a drink. I've been begging for water all day. Okay, so this is chapter 25 in Awakened Evil. Okay. Around midnight, Madison laid in bed, clutching the pillow, one foot crossed over the other. Dad always used to sit by her and read the Bible until she fell asleep. Noah's Ark and Daniel and the Lion's Den. It was Keegan's favorite bedtime story as well. He read it to both of them, and she ended up falling asleep at the end of Keegan's bed. The next morning, she was in her own bed. Bible stories always put her to sleep. But for tonight, there was no sleeping. With everything that had happened so far, how could she fall asleep? Thinking about Dad and all the brave women in the Bible Dad used to teach her couldn't even get her to sleep. It used to all those years ago, and now she couldn't. The thoughts of Terrence's death stuck to her mind like a piece of gum. She tried to forget about it just for tonight, but nope, it kept coming back. If her brother died and then Terrence, then something was going on. and they were probably together before they both died. This was her only chance to leave, to find the truth, to find the answers, and to find what happened to her brother and who killed him. Madison slowly climbed out of the bed and got dressed. She tore a piece of paper out of a notebook and wrote down a message to her mom. I went to see Richie. I will be back soon. Don't worry about anything. I love you. Love, Madison. Okay. She set the pen down and placed the note on the nightstand by a picture of Keegan when he was just 5 years old. Once she saw it, tears formed in her eyes, bringing a memory back. Keegan sat there at the table holding his first baseball glove Dad had given him on his birthday. Her lips quivered. She heard his voice in her mind. Thank you, Daddy. It was a voice she wouldn't hear anymore. She couldn't argue or fight with or to tell him what to do. She took one more look at the picture and saw Keegan hugging Dad for the birthday gift. After grabbing her car keys from the counter, she unlocked the door and closed it, then headed out to her car. Once out of the parking lot and down the street to Richie's house, she had to talk to him and see what was going on. There had to be a solution to all this. What would she ask Richie when she got there? Would he even be up at this time? If she had his number, she would have called first. She saw Richie pull out of the driveway and drive down the road. Where are you headed to? She followed him down the road but kept a far distance so he couldn't see her. She realized he headed out of town, not much around but the empty landscapes and open fields. Richie pulled off onto a long gravel road. She peered closer as the headlights helped her through the dark. Looking at the back end of the truck, she realized it was Richie's. It was 20 feet away on the side of the road. She stopped behind his truck and noticed another car. It was Neve's. She knew it was his because it was rusted from the front to the tail lights. The license plate was dented in. Why is he here? Neve would be the last person Richie would want to see. He was the one that got Terrence in trouble the most, besides Keegan. She grabbed a flashlight out of the back seat that laid on the floorboard and turned it on. The night was so gloomy she couldn't see the trees or the ground. It must have been a sign of danger. She got out and locked the doors with the push of a button. The path of the flashlight led the way through the murky night. A cold chill brushed against her arms. Good thing she had on a long-sleeved jacket. She stared at the small opening by some trees and bushes that stood out the most. The crackling underneath both her shoes reminded her of the times her, Keegan, and Dad walked through the woods. She shoved the keys in her pocket of her jacket. I have seen this before, but where and when? After thinking about it, she realized what it was and where she had saw it. Of course, in her dream, and the two girls out by the little stream. Why didn't she think of that before? This might be the answer to who the girls were in her dream. She stopped by Richie's truck and pulled the door handle, but it wouldn't open. She shined the light by the glass and noticed the lock was down. I should have known. Richie never left his truck unlocked. She knows because Terrence always used to drive off in it, even when he didn't have his little yacht, his license yet. A hand touched her shoulder. She turned around and saw Richie. Madison, what are you doing here? Richie, She placed a hand to her chest and stared back at him. I could ask you the same thing. Why are you hanging out with Neve? Hi. Little pretty girl. Hi. I wanted to know what happened to my brother. Me too. I want some answers. That's why you followed me here? Why are you out here in the woods? Neve and Horace said they were out here with Keegan and Terrence. Keegan said he was here the night before he died. They went to a house. He pointed over his shoulder. It's just beyond these trees. Yep, I knew it. They were tougher. They were together before they died. No surprise to me. So you wanted to meet up with them? Yes, I called them and said, meet me where you were that night. Okay, let's go then. What are we waiting for? You're not going, Maddie. You need to get back in your car and go back to the hotel. How much longer are you staying there, by the way? Richie always tried to change the subject in a conversation with her if he knew something was dangerous. No, I am not going back to the hotel. I'm going with you. The killer could still be hiding out there. Exactly. That's why you're not going. Yes, I am. No, you are not. Yes, I am, Richie. Richie sighed with frustration. Richie, if you don't want me to go with, then you should have never left the house in the first place. Richie paused and didn't know what to say and tipped his head down. I want to know what happened to my brother. Don't you want to know what happened to Terrence? You said you did. Richie lifted his head back up and stared into her eyes. Yeah, I did say that, but that was before I knew you were coming here. She didn't lose focus of his gaze and could stare into them all day if she had the chance. But then she realized what she was doing and broke the connection, not wanting to. Keegan and Terrence would have wanted that, and you know it, Richie. He gripped his arms. I won't put you in danger. He gripped her arms. Madison knew he was determined not to let her go with him, but she had to, and wanted to. She was so close to all the unanswered questions floating around in her mind. If she were murdered, Keegan would be doing what she was doing. No question about it. I won't be in danger. You know why. She stepped closer to him as his grip loosened from her arms. Because you'll be there to protect me. I will protect you. He caressed her cheek with his thumb. She missed his hand there, sending signals up her spine. She gazed up into his eyes and smiled. I know you will. He slid an arm around her back. The both of them walked down the path together. Madison moved the overhanging branches out of her view. She shook off the leaves from her laces. She saw Neve and Horace a few feet ahead, and they both turned around. Richie kept his arm on her back as Madison studied the woods. Dead trees and twigs laid all over the ground, and dry, crunchy leaves crunched beneath her shoes. The creepy feeling of the dark woods wasn't something that could be missed. A gut feeling claimed her stomach, like something was lurking nearby, not too far from them. But what was it? She didn't know if she would wanted to go on, but she didn't have to worry about anything happening to her because Richie was there. The four of them walked further down the path for a couple of minutes. Madison's heart beat faster and harder. She didn't want to let the fear get the best of her. She was stronger than that. She came to find out who killed her brother. No way was she giving up now. Keegan wouldn't. Dad would tell her not to. Then she realized Richie was holding her hand. She didn't notice before when he moved his arm. She must be too focused looking for signs or something. Her face warmed and she peered at him. Richie squeezed her hand tighter, catching her attention. She stopped in her tracks and noticed he was looking at something. Madison turned her head and there it was. It sat in the gloomy night. She sensed a threat by the old abandoned house. What lurks behind this concealed wooden door? What lurks behind this concealed wooden door? What secrets were kept shut behind the windows? She felt the need to know. Madison stepped towards the house, not realizing it. The connection that had drawn her in. She felt... Hi, Spook. Hi. Did you enjoy your little nappy poo? Huh? She stepped next to Richie and heard a crunching sound. She looked at her feet and saw shattered glass all over the ground. What happened here? Neve kept his head down and avoided eye contact. I don't need to ever go back in there again. I was already in there once, and that's good enough for me. Richie walked across the small yard with little shards of glass on the ground and by the steps. He walked over the broken ones and tapped on the door 2 times. He waited for an answer, then knocked 3 more times. Anybody here? I'm coming in. Madison rolled her eyes and looked back at him. Richie, come on, stop kidding around. He kicked the door open so hard, dust exploded into the air. The door bounced off the wall and came swinging back towards him. He stopped it with his shoe and hand. Madison's flashlight pierced through the darkness. Richie and the others, including Madison, stood there in the doorway, gawking in. Richie blocked her path with his hand. The windows and floors were caked with dust and cobwebs in every direction she looked. Little splinters of glass covered most of the room. Madison pressed her foot on the loose floorboards. They squeaked with each step she took. How long has this house been here? The only source of light they had were the flashlights. A cold chill crept down Madison's back. A feeling of eyes watching with pure hate and evil consumed her. The air became so heavy that she couldn't get a breath in. The thought of something terrible happening to her or the others repeated itself through her mind. If something bad were to happen deep down, it would be her fault. Because she didn't make Richie and the others have, and instead she let them stay. She wanted answers to the cause of her brother's death and the dreams. She wasn't leaving without answers. Before Madison took another step, she thought Horace grabbed her wrist. When she looked down, it wasn't him. She felt tight, cold fingers gripping tighter. Realizing it wasn't Horace or Neve, she screamed, lurching backwards into Horace. The both of them collapsed to the floor. I just about knocked my lamp over. Ooh, that scared me. Okay. The both of them collapsed to the floor. The flashlight slipped from her grip. Richie turned around as she scrambled to her feet, looking in the spot where she felt the hand grab her. What happened? Something or someone grabbed me. Richie looked at the other 2 and said, Did one of you grab her wrist? No. You were standing here the whole time. We were standing here the whole time. Something black darted past the path of the light across the room by the staircase. Madison screamed, stepping back, gripping the flashlight in her sweaty palms. She grabbed hold of Richie's arm and pressed her body against him. What was that? Neve yelled. He pushed his way past everyone, almost knocking Madison to the floor. Richie grabbed him by the shirt and held him against the wall. You're not going anywhere, so don't you even try it. We shouldn't have come here in the first place. I know that now. Tell me what you know. A girl killed a witch here, Horace said. I read it on the internet. You're not going to fool me. You're not gonna fool me. You're not gonna fool me. Hi. You gonna say hi to everybody? Hmm? Yeah. Hi. She's really weak and tired. Huh? Okay. She's probably like, just leave me alone, Mom. Just leave me alone. Okay. You're not going to fool me. It's the truth. I'm not lying. Keegan said he read about it on the computer before we came here. Richie chuckled, letting go of his shirt. Ghost? A girl named Olivia or something. I don't know what her name is. Ghosts aren't real. The feeling of being watched was there again. The heavy feeling made her want to leave and not return. A hand touched her shoulder. She gasped and swung around. It's okay. Richie slid his hand up her arm and touched her cheek. I'm here. Madison placed her hand on top of his and released a breath. I know. This place gives me the creeps. We're here to look for answers, remember? She nodded. Yeah, I remember. I'm afraid it might be a mistake. Just stay close to me. Madison pointed the flashlight towards the staircase and was drawn in. Oh, child, come here. Come this way, the voice compelled her. She separated herself from the others and walked over to this shadowy staircase. It was so gloomy and so still in the house. She didn't know what would happen. The room had a feeling that possessed a sense of evil and fear. It was so tense and strong that it weighed heavy on her chest, like she couldn't get that breath of fresh air. Madison placed a foot on the first step with her hand on the railing and followed the light. She took each step in front of the other until she got to the top of the landing. Through the dark hallway, there was an overwhelming sensation that something was there. Batman? I think Batman is chasing a fly. Her chest heaved and goosebumps traced over her flesh. She grabbed the latch and opened the door. When Madison took the first step, it was like she walked through a cloud of cold air. It knocked the breath right out of her. Once she was at the top of the steps, there was another door. She pushed that one open and walked in. The dark, quiet room grew colder. Batman. It wasn't even cold outside. It had to be 70 or 90 degrees. In this room, it felt like 30 or 20 below. There were two smaller windows straight in front of her by the arch of the roof. The broken glass was covered in dust and cobwebs. Everything about this room had an intense and alarming feeling about it. She wasn't alone. Something or somebody was with her. But what? Madison's legs shook. She gripped the side of her door and held on to it. Sharp pressure claimed her head. Black spots consumed her sight. She didn't want to back out now. She needed to continue. A roller coaster of emotions bolted through her body. Sadness, evil, hatred. They were all there. She clenched at her chest and took each breath slowly. Her heart picked up speed, then slowed down to a normal pace. Something about the room didn't feel right. But what? Madison walked over to the window and stared out. She touched the window sill and removed the dust. Darkness dissolved the woods and the vehicles, including hers. She glanced at the key. The moon, high and bright, small dark clouds hovering above in the gray sky. The leaves whipped across the ground in front of the house. A crash of lightning flashed throughout the sky. Madison lurched back, gripping the flashlight in her hand. Jesus! She closed her eyes for a brief second and shook her head. She noticed something in the far corner of the room and pointed the light towards it. Something was attached to the wall. Once she was close enough, she realized what it was. An old rusty chain. Why would there be a chain up here in the attic? What was it used for? She bent down and touched it, old, rusty, and rough. Her gaze and the flashlight followed to the end of the chain. Something rested on the floor with the cobwebs. Madison lifted it up towards the light to study it, and saw a lock. It is a collar of... Is it a collar of some sort? A lock? There must be a key to it. If there was, then where is it? Quick footsteps creaked across the floor behind her. Do-do-do-do-do. How much longer is this chapter? Let me look. I think it's too long. Darn it. Okay, I guess I'm gonna have to stop there. Right, Spooky? Right, Mommy? Hi! Spook is laying up here. I don't know if you guys can see. I don't know. Spookalicious. There she is. Spooky-lish. So anyways, okay, so that was chapter 25, right? 25, yes. So, whoa. That chapter, I did a lot of writing on, like, the woods and the woods at night, and because I really love watching, like, I just really like to see the woods at night. Like, if I'm in a car with someone, I really like to just take pictures and stuff. And so where Madison is at right now in the story, she's trying to figure out, like, who killed her brother and who's behind it all. And so now that Richie's brother Terrence died, they have to be connected. So she follows him out into the woods, and of course the woods scene did remind me of, like, my childhood, because I grew up out in the country and I was surrounded by the woods and stuff, and I just loved it. So putting Inga's house in the middle of the woods wouldn't be shocking to me. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and use that. And then I wanted to bring Neve and Horace in because Richie wants some answers. So they all go to the house, and then now something crazy and scary is happening, and Madison ends up going off upstairs. So yeah, that chapter was a lot of fun to write. Do you want up here, Batman? Spook's just, like, staring at me like, hi. Oh, you got a hold of my scarf. But anyways, I just wanted to do that live reading because I really miss doing my live readings. Okay, I'm trying to think. This Friday I'll do another one. Let me get my... I have not gotten this out for, like, forever, so I don't even know. Okay, let me look. August, September. Okay, it's October now. Whew. October. Okay. We're in October. Okay. Alright. Today's the 13th because it is Jimin's birthday from BTS. Okay, I should probably call my friend and see if I'm cleaning this Friday because I really don't remember. I think last week I cleaned, I don't know. But even if I'm cleaning, when I'm done cleaning, I can go ahead and do the live reading. So, where is my... Okay, Spook, let go. Let go. Where did that go? Oh, here it is, duh. Okay, so... I will be reading chapter 26. Okay. Let's see, what time should I read? Chapter... Okay, maybe 7 o'clock, because sometimes when I come home from the flower shop, or if I go to the church and clean, I feel like I'm rushing to get something ate, and then I feel miserable, so I think I could probably read at 7. So I could do 7 o'clock p.m. Okay. Alright. So if something comes up, like with the Spook situation, little baby. You want to say hi to everybody? Want to say hi? Huh? Huh? I don't know why she does that. Whoa. She about fell off. Whoa. Okay, I'm gonna put you, whoa, over here. There you go. Spook. Okay, can you guys see her? Right there. Spookylicious. Cuckoo. What's a pook? I cannot believe she's not reacting to these. If I shake him, she lifts her head. Okay, so that is it for this video. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you in the next live reading. God bless and have a good evening.